1941 Vkt M39, Finland. As you can see, this one's in a wartime stock with some really nice color to it. And we have some interesting repairs here in the back, which I always look for on these rifles, or any rifle really. It's fascinating how they're done sometimes. These are plugs. They simply had a knot hole or something there and they plugged it. You can see there's a toe splice on there. That's that piece on the bottom right there. There's the plug. We got the cross cannons there, and we got another plug. A little harder to see, but it's right there on the top. Let's get a look at the markings of this one. It's in very, very clean condition. I don't think it saw a tremendous amount of use, probably some quiet place. You can see there, Vkt 1941. Still got full bluing on there. And we have an unscrubbed receiver. This is a 1909 receiver on here, Izhevsk 1909. M39s, of course, are the highest form of Mosin rifle, infantry rifle anyway. This was about as far as the development went for regular infantry rifle issue, not excluding sniper rifles and fancy shooters made later on. We have a small import mark there from Interord. Front sight adjustable for windage. Always a plus, as it's such a pain in the ass to deal with the Soviet style fixed pin ones. Drifting back and forth. This one only requires a simple screwdriver and you can move it where you need it to go. Takes a few seconds. And M39s are usually known to be phenomenal shooters, and this rifle is no exception. The bore is brand new. I mean, there's really no other way to put it. It's just perfect. Not that these rifles weren't generally well taken care of, but like I said, this one doesn't seem to have seen much use. And see if I get the finger grooves there. It wasn't given much use and it just didn't get shot out much, so I benefit from that. Look at those beautiful finger grooves on there. They did such a nice job with these. Absolutely perfect. This is the wartime style. Post-war would be square joints, and there was a third style I'm forgetting, but I don't have an example of that anyway, so. See if I can close in on some of the little marks there for you. There we go. These rifles really are beautiful, solid. I mean, these stocks are very solid in the hand. They feel like a good, solid shooting stock should feel. Heavy birch wood, of course. There we go. Get a look at the grain on that one. Unfortunately, nowadays, these are becoming a lot more expensive. When I was collecting these, they were still nice rifles like this could be, you know, $190, $210. It really wasn't that bad yet. And sometimes if the finish in the blue was worn off it, they would even sell them cheaper, which always amused me because I bought every one I could find that was like that. Because no matter how badly the bluing might be worn, how many scratches on the stock, they always had beautiful bores and they always shot so well. These have really nicely tuned triggers. It's amazing what was able to be done with a rifle that is essentially made with an action that's almost a century old. Well, it was antique at the time even. 1909, this was made in 1941. I think it had been around a while. It started off life on probably a model 1891 rifle, which was used until it wore out, and then the parts were recycled. You can see an Izhevsk bolt knob there. And they made them work for a brand new rifle with a new barrel and stock and hardware and sights. Just reused the action. This, of course, has the fin mod in the magazine that aids in loading the ammunition. Well, it doesn't aid in loading the ammunition, it aids in feeding the ammunition, because sometimes if you don't load it just right in there, the rounds can get all screwed up and kind of stuck in the magazine, and you got to open the bolt up and start fooling with the weapon. Bad thing to have happen if you're being shot at. So they just dimpled the magazine in a couple places here and on the other side, and it just helps guide the rounds up out of there. Just an example of one of the modifications they used on these rifles that just work. They get the job done. Let's see if I can get a look there. See how close I can get to that. If I can find the zoom button. Oh, there we go. I'm not used to this camera yet. The Imperial Eagle of the Tsar of Russia. Usually defaced, but not on every rifle. I guess when they had time to deface them, they did. When they didn't bother. It's not like it's a huge mark anyway. The D stamp indicating it's been opened up. Chamber wise, it'll take any ammunition you can find for it. Oops. I didn't even check to see if this was matched on the bottom. I'll be damned it is. Okay, you don't see this very often, but occasionally you do. Is that they took the time to numbers match the magazine floor plate. 37, 36, as you can see, 37, 36, the last 4 digits anyway. Generally speaking, they didn't do that. They left them blank, but every now and then you find one that, for some reason, they did. They matched the floor plate to the barrel and receiver and the bolt. The bolt, of course, is matched on the bolt knob, as you can see right there. Got some pitting on there. That could be early blood pitting, but it's hard to tell on the bolt knob anyway. Yeah, this one attracted me when I saw it in the well, I saw it online. When I saw that beautiful looking stock. I love the dark colored stocks like that. That's many applications of fin wax on there, and who knows how many campfires it's baked around. I believe this one I acquired from Pat Burns, well-known seller of M39s on Gunbroker and on the internet. The old wholesale, no, they don't call them so, wholesale guns and ammo, I guess they do call themselves that. She's still selling M39s, but not for nearly as cheap as I bought this one. I bought this in 2006, so it was a while back now. Talking almost 7 years. And I've had it on the range many times. More than enough to know how well it shoots, and have no complaints with that. This only has 1 shim in there. And that's all it needs. You know, rifles get shimmed only when they need to get shimmed, and this one only needed 1 shim. That's all it got. And I know from its performance on the range, from myself experiencing it, that that's really all it needed. Did very well. Some rifles you'll find 8 or 9 shims in there. Others you'll only find 1 or 2, or sometimes none at all. So if you have an M39, you open it up and there's no shims in there, don't panic. It probably never had any. And that's our look today at the 1941 Vkt M39, Finland.